Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Appreciate you coming out. You might recognize this one. I got it recently, I believe, for 20 bucks from a scrapper. I had marked the handle needs carb clean, so I'm assuming we went through this thing and fired it off with Happy Juice. I recognize the green air filter here. So I want to give a shout out to a couple of you viewers. WeatherNut27, you asked me to do a carb clean on one of these plastic style carburetors. Well, this one's for you. This 2015 550E is a typical plastic carburetor you'll find on these Briggs Stratton engines. So pay attention. Also want to shout out to a long-time viewer, Lawrence Carroll. He's 80 years old and watches my channel. He sold 13 units this past summer. Mowers, a couple of snow blowers. So shout out to Lawrence. You're an inspiration to me. I hope when I'm 80 I'm still twisting wrenches and messing with small engines. So keep it up, Lawrence. You're doing a fine job selling 13 units over the summer. So keep at it. Never give up. So let's start messing with this 2015. You want to remove the 3 bolts on the top. They're 8mm. I've already done that to try to speed up the video. I don't want to bore you kids with non-essential teardown. So you remove the recoil, 8mm, then you go to your air filter backing plate here. The 2 outside bolts that go in the sheet metal are 8mm, just like your recoil. Keep your socket on, go to the outside, remove those 2, and the 2 inner that go into the plastic housing of the carburetor, the 2 inner screws are 7mm. Remove this. I just hosed it off with some degreaser, got rid of the grease buildup on this. So next, you want to lift up on your gas tank. It's just push down on this recoil base. That pops up like so. Now you can remove the carburetor. When you have the carburetor out, go ahead and pop off your metal linkage here. So now you're free and clear. I'm going to take a pair of needle nose, remove this hose clamp, and then separate the carburetor. What we're going to do is clean this up a little bit. I can see in the throat here there's some snot buildup. So I'll show you how to do that. And then we're going to pour the gas out of here. It could be stale gas or contaminated gas. So just use some brute force, separate this. Let's go ahead and empty the tank now, and we'll use some compressed air, blow this thing out. Let's concentrate on the tank, and then we'll go on to the main body of the carburetor. I just have the bottom of a bleach container cut in half, so I'm going to pour the gas into here. See if there's any water or any other contaminants in this petrol. And I do see water contamination here at the bottom. Maybe you can't see it, but there's a bunch of sediment attaching itself to the water. Yeah, I think you can see it right there. There's not much, but that's enough to foul out the carburation system. Heard an interesting story recently about burning hydrogen. That's going to be the next up-and-coming fuel source. You're just going to have a little bit of water droplets out of the muffler after the hydrogen burns, but hydrogen is extremely flammable, so they got to try to control that. You don't want to be going down the road and blow up. Let me blast this with some compressed air, get it ready. Normally, if you kids were still sleeping, I would have gone ahead and degreased this, let it dry for a few hours. But this is a quickie quick right here just to show you how to tear this thing down. So this is ready to go. I blasted it out. There's a little bit of gas droplets remaining, but nothing that's going to stop us from starting it. Your 7 millimeters here at the bottom, you got 2. Basically, this job can be done with 7 and 8 millimeter sockets, so just loosen these up. Using my 46-piece socket set that I had bought. I think I bought a lot of 4 of them, got a discount. I think I paid $12 each for them. Gave a couple of them away. So this is off. Let me grab a large screwdriver. We're going to put it in this notch and twist it. You with me so far? Just give that a twist. I got an air gap now. I can put this in. Just give it a little nudge, and there we go. A little dark on the fluid. I can see the jets plugged up. There's some fluid sitting in the jet, it looks like, just sitting there not moving. So I think this is plugged. Going to take my screwdriver, put it on the main jet, and just lift up. Be careful not to have this thing fling across the driveway. Okay, so that's not working. Let me get a smaller screwdriver. Okay, just popped it up. So I'll blast this out with some compressed air, the 3 cavities, holes in here. Blast those out. First, I'm going to get my degreaser and spray it around the throat, get rid of all this, and then blast it with compressed air. Just my Dollar Tree grill cleaner, degreaser. You can use soap and water. So I've got I got a water hose nearby. Let me blast this out, blast the outside here, and I'll come back at you. I'll do the bowl too. Okay, hang tight. So this is plastic, a little water's not going to hurt anything. We're going to blast it off. I'll start with the bowl first. Then we'll go on to the cartridge next, separate that. You want to blast any water that may be down here in this cavity. Blast all that out real well. Okay, that's done. Come up to the body. Just lost my gasket, but we'll grab it. Okay. We'll work on the cartridge next. So there's that. Small screwdriver. Separate the cartridge here. Twist and lift. You want to make sure these holes are all clean. I'm going to take a 0.6 millimeter drill bit and clean this out. Once I get the goop out of there, I'm going to drill this out, and I'll show you how to do that. So you just take a bread wrapper wire. I've already removed the plastic on it. There was nothing in that jet. We're going to come over here to the main jet. Okay, it's going in. Yeah, it's going in. Let me grab a 0.6 millimeter drill bit. We'll open this up. I've already broken one. So you put your drill bit into the brass, let it catch, and let the drill bit do the work. Pull itself in. And then out. You don't wobble it. Back it off. and that should be good enough. I'll blast it out one more time for good measure. Put this thing back together. Your center cartridge. Like so. This only goes in one way. It's not going in that way. Turn it around. 2 thumbs. Push until it clicks. Pay attention to where your pickup jet is there. You want the jet to sit in this little cavity. The gas is going to fill up in here and then pull into the jet. So, something like that. Grab the 2 screws that have the washers built in. Start those. My air gun is leaking. My Harbor Freight air gun. You can hear that air leak in the background. Okay, so that's on. Just snug them up, don't get crazy, it's just plastic. Okay, so that looks acceptable. We're going to reattach this, and then the fuel tank and fuel line second. We'll put them back in two different stages. Make sure your white clip and the rubber O-ring are in place. They are. Time for the tank. Fit it through the slots. As you're doing so, line up your hose as you're pushing the tank down. Make sure your hose is lined up with the inlet. Hose clamp goes in place. Now I'm going to put this back in reverse order. My 2 inner screws that go into the plastic. These 2 outer screws are the sheet metal screws. Those will go last. These are 8mm 7s for the 2 down here. So let's do that. Make sure you're saving all your hardware in a can or a magnet tray. You don't want to lose any of these doodads. My 7s. Sorry, I hope you can see this. It's getting late in the day. That's plastic on plastic. Don't over torque it. Now we're going to the sheet metals. Now it's time for the recoil, but before I do that, I'm going to put a little oil on the pawls since I have it off. So just take your oil can, throw some oil on this thing. Look for where the spring attaches to the ring here. I put a couple of squirts down there to lubricate the metal spring. Those can get rusty and create havoc for you. Okay, that's goobered up. Let's put it back. 8mm. There was enough oil in this thing, and we're going to put fresh gas. So this is a quick restoration. I'd go through it more and clean up the valve covers, etc. Valve cover. I just wanted to show Weather Nut 27 that this is an easy job to do. Okay, that's on. Let's fuel it and go. Okay, remove my ratchets from the deck. I don't want to chop up my ratchets. So, quick, hopefully this thing starts. Otherwise, I don't know what. I'll have to get Lawrence Carroll down here to Southwest Florida to help me rectify it. He's been messing with these a hell of a lot longer than I have. So I'm looking at my little ticker here, 25 minutes start to finish. We got this thing rectified. So all you kids and cadets, you get out there and mess with these, fix them up in 30 minutes or less. Make some money, it's easy. All you need is 7-8 millimeter needle nose pliers, maybe a wide screwdriver to pop the float bowl off the carburetor. You need a minimal amount of tools. So this 2015 turned out the way I wanted it to. 550E engine. Weather nut 27, get busy. Lawrence Carroll, you keep fixing that junk on 4 wheels. As always, please tip your waitress and wait staff. They're doing an awesome job. They appreciate your tips and kindness. Until next time, be safe. Come back and see me. Appreciate all of you showing up.